quickly. If the machine doesn't work again and again, just kick it. Don't use it anymore. Build a new one. You're wasting your time. So if the financial system that is present now is not working for the purposes that you want it to work, don't try to fix it. Build a new financial system. It can be done. And that's the challenge that we took, and create a new bank with the new rules. And today, after all these years, when our banks have bad debt accumulated as 60%, 65% bad debts in Bangladeshi banks, Grameen Bank, which works parallelly in the same country with the poorer people, quote-unquote, supposedly risky people from their eyes, they will not come to lend them. Their repayment rate is near 100%. So that shows that this is an obsolete institution. You don't need it anymore. It doesn't work. So you have to redesign a completely new one. I talked about the poor women and focused on women, etc., etc. But this is only one segment of the population. We talk about the small farmer. Farmer in Bangladesh usually is a man with something tied around his head and or a matal, something, hat. This is a typical face, a man with some beard or something. That's a farmer. I said, that's a wrong picture. The women are farmer too. But what is the women farmer picture? There is no women farmer picture. So we should be including women into that, because farming is not the only occupation. There are many other occupations. This is one. Number two, what about their children? They are income earners too. So why don't we create a financial institution which includes everybody? And when we are talking about the small farmer loan, it gives the impression that it's about farm loan, because that's why you define him, a small farmer. So he has a farm loan. He's not only a farmer, he has other activities. He has a little shop, he has a little kind of household type businesses and so on. So you have to see his credit needs in totality, not just a seasonal need for this crop or seasonal need for that crop. That's why I talked about the card. Card means access to any finance. That card is a magic card. Whatever income you have, put into that card. Whatever money you need, take it out of the card. So finally, somebody is calculating, managing your money, whether you're running short of some money, you are needing some extra money, and so on. So we need to have a banking system where you don't have to go to an office. Today, luckily in Bangladesh, there are something like that. Bikash money goes everywhere. People send money, people borrow money, and so on. So it's already there. It's nothing to be reinvented or invented again. So this is the kind of thing. We have to find a banking system completely different than having a big signboard, big office, big lobby, and so on. That's the wrong way of talking about businesses. Banking. That banking is for the rich guys, big guys, and so on. They feel comfortable. They feel safe coming to that bank. The person who has a little card, he or she feels safe too, because his or her money will never disappear. There will be interactions and so on, telling you what is happening with your money, what to do. To conclude that part, today Grameen Bank not only gives loans, billions of dollars in loans every year. The total loan they have received now, they have multiple of that amount as personal savings in the bank. So these are the women you are questioning. They lend money to the bank, more money, then the bank gives them the money. So your completely table has turned. That's the ability of individual woman, individual human being. It's not a woman, it's a human being. We have all the traits, all the characters, all the potentials of doing things on their own, provided we create the right kind of institution and right kind of policies. That's the need of the day. That's where you can integrate all these issues, climate and everything else, what we are talking about here in this ceremony, in this occasion. Thank you. Well, thank you. This is my core subject, credit. That's what I've been struggling with for all my life. Before you can debate whether you can do it this way or that way, it has to be done. The answer is as simple as that. For every single human being, credit is a human right. Why is it credit human right? We talk about right to speak, right to work, right to practice your religion. These are human rights. And right to your livelihood, that's your human right. I said, how do you begin that human right without introducing the right to credit as one of them? Because if you don't have that right, your right to livelihood disappears. Because you cannot establish right to livelihood without having credit in you. So your right to any other access to any right needs that facilitation from the credit side and so on. So I said, if you are listing all the human rights, you should be putting one more human right as number one, right to credit, because that's where it all starts. Then you can make it so much easier. So this is my first issue, that it just has to be for everybody. So this was taking the small farmers as a small issue, but the broader issue, whether we have established a right for finance to do that. Unfortunately, the financial system that we have never thought that way. It's a human right issue. It's an issue that you want to make money. In order to make money, you always look for the big guy who wants to borrow big money and has a lots of collateral. The money goes to him. It doesn't go to the guy in the middle. It doesn't go to the guy at the bottom, because he cannot provide, or she cannot provide you the collateral that you'll be looking for. So they couldn't care less with you. They stayed with that. Still, the world system remains that way. Bulk of the credit, all the credit goes to the top people. A handful of people handles all the credit of the banking system and so on. So we need to redesign the banking system. That's the whole issue. In that effort, I was trying to see how I can give the money to the poor women. So people say this is a crazy thing. Even the middle income person cannot have access to credit. You're giving to the poor women. And then on top of it, not only I was saying that give it to the poor women, I was saying without collateral. We almost hit the very heart of the entire financial system. Collateral is the heart of the financial system. I want to get rid of it. No collateral. They're shocked. They don't deserve credit. Now he says credit without collateral. But it did that. It worked. Today it became very famous all over the world. Microcredit, they even gave me a Nobel Prize for that. So it's established. So the question of addressing this particular segment in the agricultural sector should be resolved in that spirit, that it can be done. You have to redesign the financial system itself. Old style of financial system will not work. Today, all you have is a card. That's all. That will entitle you to all the transactions that you want to make with any financial institutions. It will be, as I said, this human right is the establishment of that human right. This little card allows you to transact and so on, as long as you follow the rules. If you don't follow the rules, there are things that the system will work with you to make sure you go back to the rail again, you start running again. So that's what the financial system should be. Whether it's a small farmer, whether it's a farm worker, it doesn't matter. Worker has a right too. He can have this entitlement card for him or her to make that. And we emphasize the women, 100% women. That's what we did. It kind of defying all the norms. They will not touch the men, because man is the only person who can transact with the institution. We say, forget about men. We go straight to the women who never saw in an institution in her life. And it worked in Bangladesh. People ask question, will it work in other countries? I said, if it works in Bangladesh, I can guarantee you it will work in the rest of the whole world. Because Bangladesh is the most difficult country. So far you can reach the women and reach the village women and trying to explain to them what money is. She said, I never touched money in my life. So that's where our starting point is. She's arguing that, no, don't give it to me because I never touched money in my life. So we'll take a few taka in our pocket and say, touch it. It's nothing. It's a piece of paper. So that you can overcome that whole fear of touching money. So what I would say, I'll conclude here by saying it is not only doable, has to be done. It's a human right. It should not be escaping any single human being doing that. There are many big issues attached to it. Entrepreneurship, which is again something very fundamental to my question, and I will elaborate on that. But credit is the starting point for everybody. Thank you so much. And if you imagine half the population under 27 years. Bangladesh is a country of young people. No country can beat them. Youth means creativity, power, changing the world. And that's what Bangladesh is all about. Give them a challenge. They will pick it up. Give them any idea. They will pick it up. They will come up with the idea. Just create the environment. And so that they can fly on their own. And that's what they do. Imagine that. 27 years, divide the whole population into half and half. If you go from 0 to 50 years, huge. Almost you conclude the whole population. Because very few on the other side. Because of the heaviness on the bottom side is so big. So that is the power of Bangladesh, how to use that power of young people to make that happen. So these are the areas that we can concentrate on, and challenge the whole world that the environmental disasters should not take place. That's where comes the social business again. We promote that what we call 30 clubs. Young people, 5 young people, because we focus on young people, there are millions of them, millions and millions in Bangladesh and all around the world. Young people get together, create a club, 30 club, for 5 people. 5 people get together. Their promise, the commitment is, I, as a member of the club, will not contribute to global warming. Can you imagine that? That promise? I, as a person, will not contribute to global warming. So they have to be very careful how I am contributing to the global warming. Am I using fossil fuel? If I am, I have to stop it, because that's my promise in the 30 Club. If I'm using it for 7 days a week, fossil fuel, I promise I'll do it 6 days a week, 1 day less. If you succeed, you say 5 days. If you succeed, 4 days. If you succeed, 3 days. And finally, 0 days. I don't use fossil fuel anymore. I don't use plastic. That's my commitment. I don't waste. I'm a zero waste person. So a member of the 30 Club is a zero waste person, is a zero fossil fuel person, zero emission person. And at the same time, zero wealth concentration person. I will not do anything which enhances wealth concentration. Money goes in one direction. I will not do that. How? I will practice social business. There is no profit in it. So there is no chance of wealth concentration because I don't own it anymore. It's not my money. I just take care of the money to do things to solve problems. And zero unemployment. Because I'm not a job seeker, I'm an entrepreneur. So if you are a member of the club, you make sure you become an entrepreneur. Never look for a job from anybody. Job is the tradition of slavery. Don't go for slavery. You be an independent person. You create the world you want. 30 Club. And luckily, it was picked up by the young people. Now we have 7,000 clubs. We have more than 7,000 clubs in 40 countries. And it's increasing every day, picking up. So that they are making these promises and coming up in instances what they are doing. Their own way of solving that problem. That's what brings me here in the COP29. I said the issue of COP29 is not about money, which they are discussing all the time. It's about change habits. It's about lifestyle, the way we live. We create the problem, then we go and shout how to make the money, how to put the money. Stop creating the problem in the first place. Our daily life is about creating problem of everybody for the planet. So if we fix ourselves, then the world has no problem. We are the creator of all the problems of this planet, which problem this planet will not exist anymore. So we still have a window of time to save this planet by changing ourselves. That's a crucial fact that we want to communicate with the young people. They understand much better than all the big experts in the world. Thank you very much.